Today I will make a presentation about shading device design on the west facade. Typically, architects, when they design a shading device, they always follow rule of thumb. As you know, the rule of thumb in the west facade, typically you will use vertical pins, right? Nobody teach you how to use a horizontal pin in the west facade. So, for example, this one is from LDL or any other resource. This is what we found. So what happened with horizontal shading device in the west facade? Is it really performed poorly, or is it performed worse than regular vertical shading device? So what I do is I do some research on that one. I think it's not really a combination of my experience, and I try to apply it in this research. Is I using a daylight performance simulation comparison and energy performance comparison, and we did a study in 3 different cities: Seattle, Los Angeles, and Washington D.C. What we do, I use ASHRAE 1651 RP. It's a ultra low building set. It's basically the building that already designed really low energy below the ASHRAE 2013. So this is the parameter that I use. I make adjustment and make sure that it reflects what is typically doing in architecture. So this is my baseline. This is the baseline. It's facing north. So I put the big facade facing west. And you can see I have a horizontal shading 1, horizontal shading 2, vertical shading 1, and vertical shading 2. Basically, for horizontal shading 1 and vertical shading 1 have similar area of shading device, while the horizontal shading 2 and vertical shading 2 have same shading device. So what we found in daylight performance simulation, I use a matrix called UDI, useful daylight illuminance. Typically, it's not really popular metric, but it's getting more popular right now because people starting try to measure the availability of daylight. We just measure in here is around 100 to 2,000 lux, and anything above 2,000, we probably make assumption there is a probability, highly probability, the glare will happen. So this is a definition of useful daylight illuminance. So we try to make the building have a daylight between 100 lux to 2000 lux. So this is a result of study, the baseline without shading device. And you can see the performance of horizontal shading device actually better than vertical shading device in here. And although vertical shading device still better than baseline, you can see the comparison. And the color on each bar actually showing the different city. The yellow is Los Angeles, Washington DC, and Seattle. So this is an example of the result. This is basically I just take the west zone of the building and do a comparison. And you can see the vertical shading device having the blue line in here. It's basically they having a lot of glare in the perimeter because the vertical shading device is not really effective to block the direct sun. So this is anything above 2000, the potential glare. I mean, it's mean that anything higher is worse. So you can see the baseline is the worst one because you don't have any shading at all. And you can see again, horizontal actually perform better than vertical shading device. This is the result, and you can see in the perimeter, the vertical shading device has a lot of direct sun because typically when you design vertical shading device, you just follow the height of the window, you not extend it above the window. So the sun still penetrates from the angle of the sun. So the next one is energy. So in energy, I did the comparison also. It's using Energy Plus. It's basically using ASHRAE energy model that already available, and make adjustment in adding the vertical and horizontal shading device. The number is hard to read. I mean, it's very looks similar. To make it more legible, I make a comparison and put the baseline without shading device as a baseline. So this is a baseline, and now you can see the comparison more clearly. You can see putting the horizontal shading device, and here, for example, will reduce the energy 1.95%, almost 2%. And the best one probably in Los Angeles with a double of the horizontal shading device, and you almost save 3.63% in a really low energy building. It's pretty high. But interesting result is in Seattle and Washington DC. When you use vertical shading device, actually you increase your energy use. So this is an interesting finding also, and you can see the comparison between the vertical and horizontal. Vertical, even in LA, doesn't really help you to save the energy. So you can see here, this is the rule of thumb, the first block. I think it's been off a little bit, the slide. But the first block showing the rule of thumb. And you can see and how the vertical shading device moving in a different location based on how you calculate the study. In the rule of thumb, vertical is number one, the best one. But in daylight, lower than horizontal. In energy, actually the worst one. So you can see this is a different thing that you probably would like to apply in your study. I mean, we apply a shading device is not cheap, and probably it's worth to ask your energy modeler or engineering team to study whether it's really perform as well in a different condition depending on location. This actually is really my experience. I did this finding when I did in my previous firm at HMC. We did a lot of shading study, and I always found like versatile shading device actually perform better in east or west location, which is contrary to the one that we usually believe. Thank you.